First off, I don't care what you people say. Never follow rules. I'm a trendsetter anyway. Okay, I march to the beat of my own drum. They say I need rules in my life. Well, I got some. That's one. Kill the competition. Two. Be a loyal dog. Three. And if they snitching on your man, send them to the mall. Four. When you party, go hard till you hit the floor. Five. If you didn't see me do it, what the hell you asking for? Welcome to my world. S-I-N-A.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. This is the Sunday night live stream. We come to you guys every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on the Facebooks, on YouTube, and on Twitch at Blkout_AD. I'm the Big Llama, and I'm joined by my co-host extraordinaire, Blkout_AD. Let's bring him on for you. Mr. AD, how are you this fine evening, sir?
I'm doing swell, buddy.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything's good.
I didn't ask you if you're good, dude. You just want to ask me how I'm doing so you can get the answer, huh? No, I'm kidding.
You know, I was just saying, I don't care how you're feeling.
No, some people are like that. No, some people are like that. Like I've noticed, like people, you're just asking people how they're doing so they can ask you. Because I'll be like, no, you know, I'm kind of struggling. Oh, okay. And then you ask them, it's like, yeah, well, you know, today went bad.
I hate when you're doing the general, like, hey, like you're crossing in the like in the hallway. You're like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, I really don't want to know, but I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, you know, everything's bad today. And I'm like, oh shit. I opened up Pandora's box.
No, you're a nice guy too.
Yeah. I stand there and I go, oh, not so me. Just tell me about it.
Not me. I'll be like,
you keep walking.
Yeah, for sure. 100. I'm known for that. It's not good, but I do it. I'll be like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm becoming. Listen, the more I do the show and the more we hang out, the more I say I'm becoming AD. Right? I voice now what I don't like, and that's so when exactly. So like, you know, someone's like, hey, you want to do? I'm like, no, that's all right. Where normally I'd be like, yeah, maybe, or you know, I try not to be. I'd be like, no, I really don't want to do that. And I don't feel bad anymore. I just kind of like. They're like, yeah. And then I think it happened today because we were at my in-laws or my sister-in-law's house. And the dog they were doing something with the dog, and then the dog was nearby, and I just kept pushing the dog. And they're like, yeah, Kenny doesn't like the dog. And I'm like, I don't. Sorry. It's annoying me right now. So
yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you, but you're right. I don't. Dog's annoying me right now, but... so yeah, the AD is rubbing off. So
no Diddy.
What's that?
No Diddy.
No.
That's the new pause. That's the new no homo.
I'm like, what? Hold on, let me register it. I'm like, oh Jesus. Let's see. Katie says, as a bartender, it's so awkward when I say, hey, how's it going? And people are like, today has sucked. I don't know what to say after that.
She's another person. She's just too nice. I'd be like, I would not. If I was a bartender or like a server, I think they would like me because I just keep it real. Like I'm not gonna like, you know, it's like you guys need anything, I'll make sure you guys are good, and I'll just stay out your way. I'm not coming here for no conversation. We don't need to talk. I mean, some people like that, but it's not. This is a business transaction right here. She just stays and listens. I'm like, nah. See, if I were you, I'd be out.
But I mean, let's be real though. The gentlemen that come to some bar establishments are looking for the conversation from nice looking bartender ladies.
100%.
You know, now the ladies are not looking for that. They want to just keep it the transaction.
100%. But I also don't get that, man. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm not going there because I'm sad. Like when I would like go to a bar, I have my headphones in, I'm watching a video, drinking my drinks, observing the people, you know what I mean? I'm having my own time. I don't need to talk to anybody. Like, hey, you need something? Be like, huh? What? I'm in my own world.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like the cliche, like that's like the movie cliche. You go to the bar when you're sad, or if you're celebrating something. But yeah, I've never gone to the bar sad. I've never been like, oh, I'm really, really sad right now. Let me go get a double at the bar.
I mean, I've had like days where I'm down and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna go drink, but like still, I'm in my, you know what I mean? Like most of the time, I'm going there. I probably got a podcast ready to listen to. Like I'm not trying to have conversation with everybody.
Yeah, she says she's there for the cash, and that's it.
Yeah.
if I waste my time having a conversation with a patron, then I get a crappy tip. I never get those minutes I spent back. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Birdie says sad drinking is the only reason I drink. And Birdie's in the building.
Welcome in, buddy.
Welcome in. I meant to say to Birdie, I met someone that said they knew who Birdie was at his establishment of work, not the one where he bounces. Somebody's like, oh, I went to this one place. Again, I don't want to put his business out there. And I was like, oh, I know a guy who, bounces out there. And they're like, yeah, big white guy with the big Jeep. And I'm like,
yeah,
that guy. And he's like, yeah, that guy. He's helped me out. He helped me out a little bit. And I'm like, helped you out? Like out the place? Because he's a rough guy. And he's like, no, he's a really nice guy. He helped me out. I was like, okay. I'll leave it at that. But I was like, damn, I know that guy. I know that guy. I just said, I just know that guy. I didn't want to know that we know this guy, just kind of, but the reputation of the Birdman is everywhere in town. So I just wanted him to know that since he's listening to the show right now. Scared Witless was here earlier. The other AD, he actually, I did see him like and share. So thank you for that shout out there, AD. I don't know if he's watching right now, but a little late for him as well. But I know Charles will be watching tomorrow. So Charles, thank you for watching as always. I think he's watched every piece of content, and I love him for that. But yeah, no, never did the sad drinking. If I did sad drinking, it was at home.
Yeah, but
I never went somewhere for that.
You weren't single like we are, or like we were. You know what I mean? Like we had like time to be single, and like dude, you were like, you had a family early for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know how high school was as single as I got. That was it.
That's what I'm saying. Like even that, it's like it's not like you can go to a bar at that point. Realistically, I mean, back in your day, probably, but
we had bars. we had special bars. They see, and again, since it was over 20 plus, maybe 30 plus years ago, we had specific bars that would overcharge you, and specific spots that would overcharge you because they knew we were underage. So we won't shout them out, but damn, we lost a lot of money just for some cheap ass liquor and beer and stuff. But yeah, there were a lot of places that would sell, at least where we lived. So
yeah, I didn't start going out until I was like, till I moved to New York. So I was like 19, turning 20.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't start drinking. I didn't do nothing until literally. I didn't start smoking until after like my graduation day in high school, and then drinking was like probably like a couple years after that. Yeah, I was
damn. Yeah, no. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why when in my high school years, I lived 1,000 lives, man. I'm just so glad social media wasn't around back then, man. But I don't think I'd have much.
Bro, we would have that booty shaking video on. That'd be my every time somebody subbed, that'd be my video.
I'm telling you, I'll give you the guys. I'm gonna give you the guy's name. I'm telling you, find the video. I'll play it. I will play. I will gladly play the video.
Dude, I can play it on my own channel. We can laugh at your expense.
I don't mind. I actually want to see it, and I saw it one time and one time only online, and he took it down.
That's crazy.
So I don't know where he put it or why.
But where he was, because maybe he still has it. Was it on YouTube?
It was on YouTube. I looked it up. I try to find it for you guys when that whole controversy came up, and that guy called me out on the channel. But it was out there and it was published, and then he took it down. I have no idea why. So I'm gonna hit up a friend that knows him pretty well and see if he can ask him to put it back on. Yeah. That's the long lost booty shake video, the llama booty shake video.
That's cool. Crazy.
Someone has it. So hopefully they'll put that out there. All right. So thank you everyone that's joining the show tonight. I appreciate everybody. A couple of show things or things from this week, just so you guys know, we've got the Marvels coming up. That reaction's coming up.
I'm sorry, I'm editing. I tried to distract him into not promoting early.
You did a good job. 12 minutes in, I
thought we were just gonna get right to the conversation.
No, I want to get this off so we can get right into conversation. So I just want to say we got the Marvels coming up as part of a reaction for this week. If you haven't seen some of my posts, I did start my Patreon. So if you guys want to support the show that way, or if you're on YouTube, you can become a member. It's kind of the same tier and everything, whether it's Patreon or YouTube. So either way, if
Did
you
go
feel
with the one
compelled to do
tier?
so. It's 2 tiers. It's one for polls and donations, right? I think it's $2, and then for all other access to all videos and everything else, $5. So I figured, we just go with that. If you feel compelled to do that, but I'm just putting as much content on there as I can, so that way if anyone does sign up for it, because right now Big Homie's the only one. He's actually signed up for Legacy from when I first started it, like 2 years ago. So when he gets the bill, hopefully he won't break the bank. He's a $2 sub member, so I got to thank him for that.
I'm sure he'll be all right.
I think it notified him when I reactivated it. I think it sent him an email or something. So he didn't cancel. So he's still on. Not enough to retire though. Not enough to retire. But anyway, so that's it. That's all I got for my promos. That's all, I swear. So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I don't know about the promo thing. I really do think that at this point, everybody does it. And it's like, we're still early. Because, obviously, when I first started, I was literally the promo. I would plug everything in every moment.
You plug everything.
All the time. I know. But I think, personally, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to do it as much. So I feel like when you do it, I'm like, you can cut back too. Like, if my producer brain's like, we can cut back on that. Because when you really watch people, like, you don't ever see Joe Rogan promo or anything. Not that he has to, but he's never like, unless you're on Spotify, and you do the pre-commercials, which is different. You know what I mean? Like if you did like a pre-commercial, then I think
True.
You can work things like that out. Like what you did with the whatnot. I never really like publicly said. I thought that was dope. I listened to it. I was like, oh shit. There's some things I would have had you clean up because I think you messed up like some Pokemon terminology. It's all good.
AD catches the ball. I try my best to like pepper in little Pokemon sayings.
That's literally what you said. I died. It was good though.
Yeah. Hey, I did my best to see what I could like throw stuff in there, but I knew I was like out of my element, especially when I was like, because I cut that promo 6 times, right? And every time I kept messing up on the catch them all and catches them all, and I was like, oh god. And then I was like, I kept messing up the name, the Blackout Slabs, the slab. Oh yeah. I kept saying something different. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And I kept deleting it and re-recording it. And then I finally got one that was pretty good. Then I completely like fucked up the ending. And I was like, oh, Jesus. And there was no way to edit it because it was like a one full take. And I was like, oh God. So the last one was it. And I was like, all right, this is what's going in. So, but it was an interesting experiment to do an ad read for your whatnot, but I wanted to keep doing stuff like that because it's actually helpful to do those ad reads. I do want to do ad reads for the Patreon and stuff like that because I actually have to create those for YouTube to do previews and stuff like that. They're asking me to do that as part of the having memberships. So you have to do a preview video, you have to do like an ad read on like the channel and a preview for people who want to know what it's about. So I got work to do on that, but it's all good, man. Well, I mean, we got what I had was some movie stuff, but then we want to talk about some hip hop stuff, was especially Diddy and his issue. But when I read up on Diddy, what I found out was interesting is because I was seeing it from afar, right? Because I was looking at TikToks and looking at stuff, and I was kind of seeing. I was like, my wife and I had been talking about it. But what I didn't realize is that he's not been formally charged with anything. No. He's got lawsuits, like civil lawsuits, but nothing like no federal charges, no official criminal charges, which is interesting that all of this attention is coming his way, but like he's not looking great at all. Like this is really bad for him, but this is interesting.
Yeah. I think with the Diddy shit, it's how do you say it? It's kind of like I mean I heard the comparison. I kind of compare it to the Epstein stuff, like where Epstein was the fall guy. I mean, how the whole situation played out, Epstein was the fall guy, and I feel like that's exactly what's happening with Diddy. Like, don't get me wrong, Diddy's definitely there's so much shit out there that like it's definitely some shady shit. But the fact that he got raided, they knew where he was. He didn't because like the internet that day that his house got raided, it was all over. They were tracking his plane. People were like, "Oh, his plane went his plane went here, 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 landed over there." But he was in the Miami airport, so like everybody, I mean, the internet was literally tracking all of this. You don't think the people rating him knows exactly what's going on? Like, there's no
Yeah,
way, right? So the theory is that they just went in because supposedly he records everything, and he put. There's a lot of it gets deeper than just what the media is talking about. Like some dark shit going on for sure. And
yeah,
Diddy's honestly, the sad thing is, I can see it playing out exactly how Epstein. He goes to jail and then you know
yeah.
does whatever.
Well, there's two things I found fascinating, right? One, obviously, I just mentioned that he hasn't been charged yet, but I have a feeling they're building a case, like like you have to have all your ducks in a
Oh
row
yeah,
and to arrest him. So I think that's coming, right? So that's fine. But what I found fascinating is leading up to the Diddy story and the leaks and everything, as you were hearing about stuff, was the algorithms and I don't know if it was his doing. I don't know if it was just the internet and how it works, but like there were stories not of this issue, right, but of other Diddy's things, right, things that involved his name starting to slowly come out, and it was not even related to his charges. They were stories about him on making the band. There were like these old old features, old videos.
it's been
Some
going
guys
on for
start
like a year, almost 2 years. Because
right,
so another theory about it, and probably goes to what you're saying more so, or at least it's a smear campaign, or at least it felt like that. And it's been
right,
a couple years, but because I believe he was suing the company that does his tequila, one of the liquor companies he was suing, and one of the theories is that they're like retaliating in this way, like putting all this
mm,
dirt. Because again, there's so much shit that if not, even if everything's not real, there's some of it that's real, right? And there's some
right,
bad shit
right,
on there. So all this stuff starts coming out. A couple years ago, he starts giving people publishing back. Like they're and one of the girls from Making the Band was on like one of the platforms I watch, and she was saying the deal included a airtight NDA. You can't say shit, and it was like you can have your publishing back, but you can't say shit about Diddy. You can't nothing. And she was like, I'm not signing it. And I guess like she's from Danity Kane. I guess a couple people from Danity Kane signed
yep,
it. You know what I mean? Got their publishing, whatever. So he's been gearing up for this, I think, for the last
yeah,
couple years. Now the videos after of him after the raid and stuff, like there's him out in Miami. Looks like he's kind of in high spirits, but I think it's just Diddy being, he turned it on. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
it's got to feel like the world's crashing in on him, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean he's had everything, and now all of a sudden everything's getting taken away. I mean he's in defense mode for sure. I mean, if it was just a small allegation and he's fighting it in court, this wouldn't be this again. It would be news, but it wouldn't be like his world's crashing in. He's got way too many like things coming at him, and like I said, there's just too many coincidental things that are happening. Like you said, the publishing thing is one thing. All of the negative videos, podcasts, the stuff that was swirling, and that's what I was saying. I was fascinated because you had mentioned let's talk about it, and I just started doing some reading on it, and I was like, I remember like months ago, and I know that in November of last year was the first filing of the lawsuit, but I remember starting to see just different podcasts, different like clips, different things of that were surrounding Diddy, but not like blaming him for certain things. They were just people who were associated with him, were getting themselves in trouble, or were blaming him for certain things.
Yeah.
And again, the Making the Band was one of them. The guy Dylan, he was talking to him some shit. But all these people, all these things started coming out, and I was like, and Mace's name started coming back into the fold. And then they were like, "Where's Jay-Z?" And I'm like, "What is all this shit about?" Right? And then obviously it snowballed into this, but it's interesting how the internet just like it's a firestorm. Like everything you can find is out there, and it will just all of a sudden resurface itself when the story breaks.
It's like I said, I've been noticing it for almost 2 years now. I could have told you, like, if there was like a point to have the conversation, because that's another thing. Like, it was so much stuff, but I remember like vividly. Like, I mean, you see me, you know me. Like, I'm all over media. When it comes to like hip hop media, I'm all over it. And it was just like some weird shit. If we would have had a conversation about it, like, like it just comes up like, hey, what do you think? I see all this Diddy shit. What do you think about it? I would have told you then, like, this shit's gonna lead down a dark path, because like now the raid solidifies it. But even before that, I was like, yeah, some shit's going on with this Diddy shit. Like, it's just too much weird shit around it. And again, what comes of it, I don't know. Like, I truly think it's gonna end up like an Epstein situation where they cut it off. They get all the stuff because somebody doesn't want those videos coming out. There's too much weird shit with like Diddy's like his friendships. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that I don't think people want. And that's another narrative. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like the baby, the rapper, the baby came out with like an interview. I haven't watched it yet, but I seen a clip, and it just basically was him talking about like a scenario where him and he was at Diddy's house a little too long, and even like I'd seen some shit about Denzel talking about when he was like, you got to leave 30 minutes before the devil gets there. You know what I mean? He's like because he's like, yeah, I'll go to the party, but you got to dip out early.
But even what is it, 50 Cent's wife or girlfriend now? She's on the payroll for being a worker.
No, his baby mom.
And I'm like,
a fucking relentless guy. He's hilarious. Yeah. He is hilarious, bro. He's like, you little sex worker.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure that because she tried to come with some allegations towards 50. I think she's just embarrassed, and she was just like, yeah, you did this to me, whatever. So then he was like trying to get full custody of the kid. And now I'm pretty sure in the lawsuit or whatever, and in their dealings, he can't call her a sex worker in public now, because now he's using LSW. He's like LSW.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's smart.
No, but he's also been saying this shit for years about Diddy. Like, he's been on this for years. There was a interview that I watched a long time ago when I guess Diddy offered like to buy him clothes, and he was like, what the fuck type of shit you on? Ever since then, he's like, yeah, I stayed away from him. Like, he's like, you gonna buy another grown man outfit? Like, that's crazy. You gonna take me shopping? Like, what am I?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think the biggest issue is where you say like it's like an Epstein thing, is that Diddy probably knows names and can name names,
bro.
And according to some of the reports, he was trafficking women and underage women, and so like that the names become very important.
But I think that's kind of like it's a how do you say it? Like, it's not a coincidence, but like, think about it. He has younger sons that I'm sure used the plane. I'm sure they were having sex with girls on the plane that were definitely under, you know what I mean? So they're like trying to like be like, well, they were on the plane at this point. They were having sex, like, again, they're just trying to throw everything, like you said, build a case and put them away. That's all that's going on, I think. Like, again, I think like Diddy was on some weird shit, but I don't think everything's true. I don't think he was just trafficking women. The same thing with like Young Miami. Like, somebody used the example is like, all right, well, they're saying she, brought him the pink cocaine or whatever, right? They're like, yo, think of this. Like, we'll put it in me and Bird's terms because we smoke. If Bird was like, or if I ran out of weed and it was like, yo, Bird, bring me some weed. and he drives from his house and brings me weed, they can basically say he was drug trafficking because he crossed multiple states. But it was just literally, he's coming to my house, we're gonna smoke, and then he's going back home. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a situation like that, and like, well, you were drug trafficking, you're a drug mule. So again, who knows? It's gonna play out. This is gonna be the next year and a half, I guarantee. Every day there's gonna be a new story about Diddy coming out or a new charge or whatever.
Yeah, and again, the fun part will be watching people distance themselves from.
It's already happening. It's already happening.
Yeah, like, oh, I wasn't there, and then the videos will come out of people with him, and like it's gonna be fun. This will be fun. Chat Mom's here. Chat Mom says, "Hey, happy Easter." Brings a little bit of a change of pace to our conversation, but thank you.
Nah, but I mean, even videos of like LeBron during like, it was definitely like quarantine time videos, like ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Diddy party, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Which
like,
I mean, that when you know hip hop, like that's all I've been hearing my whole life. Like Diddy's parties are always crazy. Like my whole life, I would hear stories about Diddy's party because all I do is listen to interviews, and they're all talking about like, yeah, we were in Miami, Diddy was there. You know, like one of my favorite. This is another thing. Like I was like, so I stopped smoking for a couple months, right? And then I started this week again, or like 2 weeks. But one of the nights I was smoking, and the Diddy shit just kept coming up. I think it was like after the raid. So then I watched one of my favorite videos when Ray J calls the Breakfast Club, when he's like after a party, you know, he's like, he goes crazy on Fabulous basically. And then there's another clip, and this is like the first time where people were like, yo, Diddy's kind of sus. Because he asked Fabulous in a Drink Champs interview, like, yo, Fab, when we gonna party? He's like, what are you talking about? We party all the time. He's like, nah, when we gonna party? And so I watched that in the scope of like everything going on. I rewatched everything. When Ray J called in, when Fab talked on the radio about it, when they talked about it years later, and Diddy was, and then I saw a clip of the Breakfast Club, like, yo, you remember when he said this? And you could tell in his face, his demeanor, he was like, oh, fuck, I was fucked up. Because he was like super sober in the Breakfast Club interview. And you could tell he was like, when you show a drunk person, like, yo, you remember last night? And they're like, oh, shit. You know, you could tell.
Jesus, yeah.
But he was going crazy. And with the scope of everything, I was like, oh, yeah. He was like, you know, we're in Vegas and shit goes crazy. You know, people put shit in drinks. And it's like, he said it in plain daylight. It's like, oh, fuck, Diddy. You're not helping anything. And if anybody, any cop watches this, they're like, yeah, these guys are doing something.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Oh, look who it is. Roman 2 Raw.
You want to tell us happy Easters. And, you know, Chat Mom, let us know. Yeah, sorry to interrupt your Grappist talk. Yeah, I know. That's why I wrote her back. We love you, Chat Mom. I didn't realize when I write her back, all three accounts write her back.
You gotta pick one, dude. Where it says all, you click it. And then
that's how you do it. Oh, I've been using this for what, two years? I didn't know that.
For years.
All right, I just changed it, so now I can write this myself. Okay, got it.
But I mean, we could put a cap on it.
Yeah,
it's gonna get more. This is just the opening of the box.
The only thing I'll say is the reason that it's going to be very interesting, and the reason that I feel like this is going to be a problem is what happened to Russell Simmons. Like, that was another thing with all his allegations and things. Like, I was like, nah, this is crazy. But he learned from Russell Simmons, and he's around that, and now, it's hard to disprove things anymore, right? Like, it's hard to just. I think 15 years ago, you would hear something, you'd be like, I mean, someone's making it up, or that's craziness, right? Now, with video evidence and the number of lawsuits and allegations and the way people just disappear, I believe almost everything. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. The way that people just start doing the backflips to like be like, nah, I wasn't there, I don't know this guy, even though they got you on video partying with him. It's going to be so interesting and fun to watch.
I don't know if fun's the right word.
Well, I think fun to
We're
watch to
watching.
see like how like people start to just the one thing I would say is like not fun, but it's like how people tear people down. I find great like entertainment in that because it's like I feel bad for people. Like when you do something bad, that's fine. Like you deserve everything you get. But like there's so many things that like you start going after people, you start trying to find reasons to cancel things, and I'm like, sometimes things are a stretch, but it's entertaining just to watch the whole thing collapse. I think that's why we watch car accident videos and you watch all kinds of shit. You just can't turn your head. This is one of those things.
It just sucks though, because like,
yeah,
everybody has a turn. Everybody has a turn, especially when you're making content and putting yourself. You know, again, back to 50 Cent. I was watching a Tony Yayo interview, and he was talking about how when we signed our contracts initially. He said, once we signed it, he was like, you guys are public property now. They can say whatever they want about you. This is back then. It's even more magnified now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, again, it's going to be... I find it sad because it's like, damn, bro. Like, somebody who, you know, impacted the culture I love so much, especially in my time. Like, I'll Be Missing You by Diddy was one, like, the song I think of when I think of my dad when that song plays because it was the same year. It was like, you know, it's like, damn, another legacy tarnished by not being able to get out of your own way. You know what I mean? Doing the wrong things.
Yeah, man. But money will do that to you, man. Money will corrupt you. You know,
think so. I think it's in your character.
No. What I mean is it might be in your character, right? But like you wouldn't have access to do those things,
of course,
if you didn't have the means, right? Like if you didn't have the private jets and the lavish mansions and the things.
Yeah, but you would still be doing something bad.
Maybe. I think sometimes it's temptation. Like if you put yourself in a position where you have the ability to do certain things, you might do them anyway, right? But sometimes it's that way. You just find yourself in those positions, and sometimes it's your character. So we'll see.
I mean, I think it's character. Like
yeah.
When you watch people, like you can see when they start changing or when things like start turning bad for them. And it's something I think about a lot because like you know how like my mind, I see myself a certain way at some point. And it's like, I've thought about this, like, would shit change me? Like, that's why I'm so much myself, I think. Like, I want to be me at all times. I don't ever want to let someone else influence me. Because then, like you said, it could be, you know, like, if I met Drake and he was like, yo, let's go do some wild shit. It's like, it's Drake. Like, should I, you know? But probably me would be like, nah, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'll catch you at the concert, brother.
Right. I think I'd be like, if Drake invited me somewhere, I'd be like, yeah, let's go to your mansion. Let's go. The second I walk in and I see something, I'd be like, all right, Drake, later. Because I know, I just know how this goes, right? It's like, nah, screw that shit. So enjoy yourself, sir. You know, later. But speaking of Drake, good transition. So the funny thing is, like, you know, you talked about the Kendrick Lamar diss, and I was, you know, my exposure to it was Lil Llama just freaking the hell out about it, and then I honestly listened to it, and then I was like, I don't understand it, and then I saw a couple of people, I saw a couple of older TikTok guys near my age kind of say the same thing, which was like, I had to have a kid explain it to me. I had to have somebody tell me what was about. And then when I heard what it was about, kind of made sense, but still like, but I get it. It's like, but they all work on each other's albums and stuff. And it's just like, oh, here we go. Herc said Kendrick bodied them. No, like I said, now it makes sense, but it's like, I don't know. I think sometimes beef is necessary. I think sometimes you have to make it exciting, to make it, you know, but again, sometimes it's personal. Sometimes it's personal stuff. But
at the root of hip hop, it's competitive. That's what it was. Hip hop was two people with their rhymes battling it out. That's what it was at the root of it. In the last couple years, the competitive side, think about it. the biggest beef in this generation. So like Lil Llama's span of listening to music and when he probably started understanding what he likes in hip hop, because he seems like, I mean, both your kids seem like they're in tune with hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So from their time though, the biggest beef was obviously you got the like their rappers, and I'm sure they have their little beefs. You know, Lil Durk is very much so, NBA YoungBoy very much so, but like in terms of like competitive sparring was Drake and Meek Mill. That was like the last big for hip hop in general. You know, but like think about it, Nas and Jay-Z, Biggie and Tupac was a rap beef at one point. Just things escalate. Obviously, Pusha T and Drake, but I think with this, it's dope because Kendrick is off his label now. He's no longer with like Top Dog, like the TDE thing. So I think he feels a little bit more free. He can drop music when he wants now. He can I don't know. I feel like that was him like putting out the
warning shot.
The warning shot, and he definitely has a track ready or a couple. But now I don't think he bodied them. He had a good verse. It was a really good verse. He doesn't as much as he says Drake doesn't say his name, he also does it besides the Control verse. And that's another thing. This goes back to when Kendrick dropped the Control verse. He quote unquote dissed everybody, even though he was just basically saying what I'm saying. It's a competitive sport, and I'm gonna eat all of you up. Like, I don't care who you are, how good you are, which is what you should be. That's the essence of hip hop right there. Now, I think the Drake, it gets weird with the whole situation because it's like Future and Drake are beefing now, Metro Boomin and Drake are beefing, and then now you throw Kendrick in there. Like a weird, it's like it took all three of them. That's why I don't say Kendrick kind of bodied him, because it's like you went on two other dudes who are beefing with Drake at this time to now diss him when you just had an album you could have dissed him in. You know what I mean? You didn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, Drake just dropped his 13th #1 album. Like and so from a again, Kendrick has the clout now to say whatever he wants in whatever label he wants. So in this new day and age, he doesn't need a label, so he's fine. But I just found that like before, and again, this is old school, so I'll give you the old man take on it. When the track was out there, it was easy. It was, you know, when Nas released it, the track started with "fuck Jay-Z." Like that's how the track started, and so you knew exactly. And then whatever a metaphor, whatever bars he was spitting after that, you knew what it was about, who it was for.
Yeah, but it's not always like that. That was once the beef already started, but there was jabs that they were throwing. And Jay-Z, this is where Drake gets. A lot of people talk about Drake be sneak dissing, but Drake got it from Jay-Z, who is one of the best with the wordplays. Like,
yep,
Drake and Jay-Z, they will let you know they're talking about you without letting the world know. It's like they'll say shit that is like only me and you know that I'm talking about you. And that's been, I mean, I've been watching a lot of videos breaking down all the beefs, every song. I mean, even J. Cole and Kendrick, like they at one point they were talking about doing a tape together. And he said, what got me those? That's what I'm saying. He didn't say their name. You know what I mean? But right. he made it very clear who he was talking to. The wordplay was fire. It was dope. It's a great time for hip hop because then you get everybody talking about a beef. You know what I mean? Like they want to hear the response of, and they want to hear the response of Cole, I think more so, and then obviously what Drake's gonna say. But
yeah,
the Drake thing, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna respond because the last time he got to beef was the Pusha T thing, and it got dirty. You know what I mean? Like now Cole's in another bag where every feature he has, he's killing everybody. He right now,
yeah, that's true.
In terms of output, he is the best right now. In terms of lyricism, he's putting constantly. He's getting on Benny the Butcher's track. He goes to Lil Yachty track, bodies it. Like every song he gets on, no matter who's on the song, he's bodying it and he's elevating his game. Now, how that fares against Kendrick, I want to see. That's something I want to see. I'm more interested in the J. Cole Kendrick aspect than the J. Cole Drake, even though I think it would be bigger. If Drake and Kendrick get into it and really have some type of tracks against each other, but I don't know if that's gonna happen, to be honest. Drake would
No.
have did it already.
Yeah, he would have put something out in the middle of the night.
No, he would have
if he was ready. Yeah.
He's
But
also
no,
on tour, and Cole is also with him on tour. That could be it too, because I mean, at the end of the day, they gotta fucking perform at these shows. They can't really. I mean, he cancels a lot of shows here, especially here in Denver. He canceled like 3. It's like, yo, Drake's coming, cancels it. Yo, Drake and J. Cole are coming, cancels it. It's like, all right,
Oh,
what are you gonna tell us? But I don't know. Yeah, for hip hop, I think it's dope though. I think the energy around it's fire. It's got people talking about lyricism again. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the foundation of hip hop, which is it was always about battling and emceeing. It was about two guys just kind of showing each other up. The DJs would always do that. That's what they were doing. They weren't. It wasn't like we were just trying to rhyme. Right. We were we were break dancing against each other. We were dance battling. We were dissing each other. Again, you were having the freestyle rap battles. The DJs were trying to battle each other. It was never about, hey, we're just trying to rap and bring harmony. It was always about the conflict. There was always one guy was trying to one up the other guy. So I like that because it's the fun part of hip hop, but it got to a point where it got a little annoying and it got a little bit too far, right? But if it makes sense and it gets people talking, then it's worth it. Because right now, collectively, people are talking about it again, right? And it's good. It's great. It's great for the.
This is as big as Jay-Z and Nas.
Yeah. Oh no, it's huge. It's huge.
This is the same thing. This is the conscious lyrical rapper who also has great albums against the biggest star in the genre. Right. And then now, luckily, there's a third person who, it's always been them, but like Cole, it's funny because they're like, I've never heard Drake or Kendrick say there's a big 3. I've only heard Cole say it because people compared Cole to both of them. Because the thing is, he is the conscious lyricism guy, but he also has the pop appeal. He's just not as big as Drake. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And not that I don't think he even he wants to be at this point. I think at one point he wanted to be considered that, but I think he just grew up and was like, I don't need that. I just want to be the best when it comes to the sport of hip hop. And that's something he's been preaching the last couple of years. So I think he's been getting ready for this. And eventually it's gonna shake out, right? Like this is like if LeBron and MJ played in the same era and they went to their last finals together or their last run, and it was like, this is when we're in our prime right now. Let's battle it out and let's really see. It's kind of like what we're getting. Like the number one rapper of our generation in terms of lyricism and what it is will come out of this event that will happen.
Yeah. No,
I think their careers not that far apart, bro. They all started around the same time.
No, I think Drake is the pop guy. Not pop, but he's the one who has the bigger appeal to the masses, right? Like he's got the bigger album sales. He is the guy who most of them will say, look, if we could trade the dollars and the success, they would take it. But that unfortunately creates the animosity that the other guys have towards him. But you get Kendrick Lamar, who now is true to who he is, and he is an artist. I would say he's an artist, but hasn't done anything to sell out in terms. And I'm saying that Drake has, but there's some things that Drake kind of puts out there that are more pop in nature, right? Or more,
but Drake made it clear from the start. He's like, I want to be the biggest artist.
Right.
From the start. But I'm saying in terms of, and also think about it. Kendrick's only dropped 4 albums in total. Drake dropped 4 albums in the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Drake just puts out way more music. If Drake would have just been like, yo, let me make only 4 albums, my best 4 albums. Come on, bro. It would be the same conversation. But Drake just knew what he wanted. And Drake has, again, he goes to London and incorporates that sound with his. You know what I mean? He goes to Atlanta and he's always transcended every time. He's made himself bigger every time by that. Kendrick stood with the conscious rap and stuff. And that's one thing that Drake's been kind of poking at in his bars against Kendrick is I don't think you're really as conscious as you try to portray, because I think you're selling, So there's holes in that. But they're just two different artists. Like Kendrick, like you said, I think you said it perfectly. Kendrick is an artist, so he's gonna
Right.
drop the project he wants. You know, I don't know. It's interesting. Now, bar for bar, probably Kendrick is better, but people discredit Drake because the ghostwriting allegations and shit, and like that being true. But you got to think also the amount of music this guy's putting, and he's the number one guy. It's kind of
Right.
like Beyonce. Like Beyonce's always gonna get a writer. Beyonce doesn't even write her own shit. You know what I mean? It's just because of what hip hop was, kind of like muddies that water. But it's not like Drake can't compete. Like, you know what I mean? People think in the Pusha T Drake beef that Drake lost that, but realistically, Duppy Freestyle was a better song when it comes to bars and shit. The only thing that Pusha had over him was he revealed the kid shit, and it just got bigger than the songs. You know, like that narrative. But like people forget, you know, like look what he did to Meek Mill, who was a lyricist. Who there's videos of Meek Mill battling. That's how he blew up, and Drake washed him with a hit. You know what I mean? So it's like people try to discredit what Drake did, but it's like, bro, this guy's also got writing credits on some of your favorite rapper songs. You know, like it is.
Yeah.
Just the truth.
But again, it's my only point was the success that he's had brings the jealousy, brings the envy, that brings some of the hate that he gets, right? But I don't have anything against Drake. I've loved his music. I've enjoyed his stuff. But I have liked J. Cole's music a little bit more in some of the stuff that he's done, in his collaborations that he's done. I've kind of enjoyed his stuff a little more, but he reminds me again in this scenario, right, in this beef, of like KRS-One. Meaning like in the world of hip hop, when all the beefs were happening, you had the multi-successful, guys who were making the mainstream stuff. You had the guys beefing, and then there was KRS-One who would just body everybody. And but he would never get the acclaim or the success, but he was just there, and he was always the best that was out there. But in the community, in the hip hop community, that was the guy you would never mess with. Everybody else just kind of knew that, and then if you stepped to him, he would shut you down. But he would never get the commercial success. So nobody knew that outside of like the true hip hop heads who really kind of understood it. But that's kind of how I see this playing out right now. But J. Cole's a little bit more popular and has.
But it's also different.
Yeah.
It's them. It's literally them three going at each other. Now, what will be interesting, because it seems like the whole industry, not the whole industry, but I mean, Future was one. Like they were like big collaborators. He said Drake sucks live. He's good in the studio. There's Drake talent behind the scenes. I mean, yeah. But he has so many hit songs too that when you're there, you just listen to a fucking playlist. I bet Drake's concert is just a big ass playlist. But anyways, it's gonna be interesting if like in this competitive stance, the three of them go at each other. Like even if Cole and Drake, even though they're cool, like if they went at each other a little bit, I would be interested to see, because in a lot of ways, Cole did say it on the song, the first person shooter song, where he was like, "We're the big three, but I'm the Muhammad Ali." Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he was like kind of separating himself with that part, but like I do believe he believes that about himself, and like you said, right now lyrically, I think he is the best out of the three, because he's putting out a lot of shit, and it's all high level rap, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting time for hip hop. Now, when will we hear the responses and shit? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So everybody's waiting on, and that's the beauty of this beef, is that you've now got everybody waiting on the next track and waiting on the next diss, and it's gonna create.
I've been like every night. I'm like, let me just right before I go sleep, let me make sure nothing came up. But it's been a couple days already, Like, I mean, one of Drake's lines has been 4 days, nigga, where y'all at? It's kind of like the same thing right now. Like, it's been a couple days, boys.
Yeah, no, hey, we never know. You never know. So I'm sure there'll be some. Well, it is Easter today, but maybe he's letting Easter ride.
Nah, bro. If this shit happened, and then Kendrick dropped on Easter dressed as Jesus, it'd be crazy.
Oh my God.
Checking clapbacks before. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think again, this is good. This is good for hip hop. Everyone's talking about it. It does bring the spotlight back. It does bring some energy, some much needed energy, and some definite clicks and views to it. So I'm good. It's good. I think it's always good for hip hop for that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And it's tough because in this day and age, you don't really have to pick a side. You know what I mean? You have to. You know, it's not an East Coast West Coast thing. You just may the best man win, may the best artist win, and you get to enjoy all the great music that comes out with it.
Hopefully.
So I'm excited.
Or
for
we
it.
just never hear about it again.
Oh, exactly. It happened and then it just goes away. They come back on the track, all three of them together. Gotcha.
Nah, that will never happen. That will never happen, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So this was
no, it will never happen. I would never. The sad thing is, we would never get a three of them, and that song would be crazy. That song would be crazy if all three of them were on a song together. I mean, what was it? The last song that we seen Drake and Kendrick on, it had to be Poetic Justice, and that was in 2012.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's the last one they were on.
Or Fucking Problems, but that I also think was around the same time.
Yeah, it was around the same time. I did read that.
So,
but I thought it was Poetic Justice. But I think that was on his album. So I think that's, yeah. So damn. So hey, a lot of good discussion around that. That's for sure. Herc says, well, Jay-Z and Nas did a track with DMX before he died, so anything is possible. Herc with the with the facts.
No, true.
Let's see. My JVC vibrates the concrete.
2 bangers.
Oh my god. All right, well, that's good. That's some good discussion on that for sure, man. So, definitely better than the topics I had for sure.
No, for tonight. I just honestly, none of us saw the Godzilla one, so I was like, well, I would wait. I would rather talk about it if at least one of us saw it. And then
no, you're right. You're right about that.
I did do research, and that would be maybe we talk about it for next week, for Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're gonna record
because I was doing some research on it. And I was like, damn, this would be a good topic. I honestly forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I said I was gonna check out the Godzilla movie, but because it was the holiday weekend, I just had some family stuff, so just didn't have time to. But I wasn't that interested in it, to be honest. If I'm 100% honest. We can get our kids in the Llama show. They watched it and loved it.
Hey.
Yeah, no. I mean, I watched the other Godzilla movie. I didn't think it was horrific, but I felt it was like, it was okay. So, but I know what it's for. It's big, loud, and dumb, and it's fun, and that's what it's for. It's an escape movie. It's great, but I got to check it out, but because my kids want to watch it, but I just didn't. It did I wasn't compelled. Like I got to go see it. That type of thing. Yeah. And then I think there was some investor talk from the Disney conference. So the investors want to fire Kevin Feige. We can talk about that next Thursday. And then some more discussion about Bad Boys 4 looking like Fast and Furious.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like, let's just put this IP out there, make some money.
Yeah, no,
it looked like shit.
It looked like you just took the guys from Bad Boys and put them in a Fast and Furious movie. Like the whole thing. My kids saw it. Watch The Pope's Exorcism. Okay. Recommendations we get.
No, there's some scary movies coming out. There's the one that's like the TV broadcast or whatever. I don't know if you've seen that trailer. Like
the First Omen?
No. It's
okay.
another one where it's like the guy's like he's like a late night host or whatever, and somebody gets possessed during the show. Bro, that would be a fucking that show. I was watching it, I was like, oh my god.
No, wait, we have a really good one, Llama. Uh-oh. What do you have?
Right, a movie.
Okay, let's see what movie you got. So that'd be good. All right, well, we wait for a chat mom to give us that recommendation. I think that's what we have for tonight's show. 50 Cent's documentary, Did He Do It? Blood Quantum. Okay. For a zombie movie, this year we watched Blood Quantum 2019. Okay. Blood Quantum. I'm going to put that on the list. and check that out for sure. Yeah, you know, Chat Mom and Herc are pretty good with their picks. They haven't let me down on their picks, so that's definitely going on the list. Blood Quantum. All right, so post show, any streaming or anything you guys gonna be on, or you?
I have no clue.
You have no. Okay. So I don't want to say we're gonna be on there, and then no people looking for us, and then we're not there. Let's see. Indigenous reservation finds they're immune during a zombie outbreak. Oh, that sounds good. It does sound good. Okay, so again, no confirmation on post Llama show streaming. So if we are going to be out there, just look for the social media channels. We'll probably let you guys know if we're going to be out there streaming. Again, look for the Marvels YouTube reaction to be out this week. And then I'll have another reaction that I'll be working on tomorrow. I'll be recording. And then we'll see you guys next Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Big Llama Show with Blkout AD. This is going to be a fun week. Guys, thank you guys all for joining me. I want to thank you everyone in the chat for chiming in. This was a fun episode, a lot of participation. If you guys noticed, I was just kind of shouting you guys out as you guys were chiming in, so I don't want to miss anybody. You guys were really live on the chat, so thank you guys for doing that. Walter Walsh, have a great Easter. Thank you guys. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. Again, see you guys next Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the Facebooks, on YouTube, and on Twitch at Blkout_AD. Peace out, everybody. I'm the Big Llama. He is Blkout AD. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.